All right, folks, welcome to our very first episode. We're going to do a live webinar here with Clint and Emily. And basically, we're going to walk through how you can use AI tools to help you with your business, help you with your marketing. And we're going to keep it super simple because there's a lot of really cool stuff out there with like N8N and automation workflows. And we know how to do all that, but most people aren't there yet. They just want to know, like with the tools that I have now, with the simple ChatGPT subscription or whatnot, how can I up level my business? For everybody who's watching online, the members that you see that are in this webinar, they're in our community. So we're going to do about half an hour here. We're going to coach you a little bit, walk you through it, get some feedback. And then at the end, we'll go community only and we'll do Q&A. So if you're not in the community and you want to ask questions from me and from Clint and from Emily about how to run a charcuterie board business and how to do marketing for it or use AI tools for your life, come join the community at Air Die and check it out. All right, you two ready? Are you guys excited?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So first thing we want to do is just walk people on to your business and then what we're going to be up to today. So you both have 9-to-5s. Clint has a 9-to-5. This is not your full-time business. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So I work a 9 to 5. My corporate role, I work in disaster response. And Emily has built this company organically, pretty much on her own, just through word of mouth. And so if you guys haven't seen it, we'll have to share the link. I'm sure we will, during this call, but she really makes some amazing stuff. I mean, it's like art. People are generally like almost scared to eat it because it's organized so beautifully, but she does anything from small charcuterie boards to big like corporate grazing tables and things like that,
Awesome.
corporate events. So anything from date night to things that are going to feed, several hundred people.
Love it. I do want to share your website. Can I share your website? Would that be all right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right,
And I think, did I share the Instagram with you, Mike? I think we have the website, but that's something that we probably need to work on and can work on, during this, this workshop. But the Instagram would probably provide a lot more of some of the recent things that she's worked on.
Awesome. Yeah, we can take a look at that. Look at it. You're right, man. I don't want to eat that. That's like a painting, Oh my goodness. It reminds me of Japan. Have you ever been to Japan by chance?
Not yet.
We should.
Not yet.
Every plate is just like it's a work of art. They really care about it. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is awesome. Okay, so great website, right? Already love all the pictures. That's wonderful. But we want to talk a little bit about number one. We don't want to just jump straight into AI tools. Like we want an AI tool to help solve a problem that would otherwise be difficult or expensive for us to do. So we don't always want to jump to AI. So step one is, what are your issues? What are your problems? What are your pain points? Especially on, we talked about a little bit about the marketing front of things and the content. So Emily, maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
As far as like the issues, as far as like the website goes?
Just issues in general. Yeah. Like, do you feel like you're getting enough leads? Do you feel like you're getting, what kind of objections are you getting? Like, how are you handling all that?
Well, at first I felt like I was getting a lot of feedback on the content that I was doing. And then I took a week off and the algorithm is up. And now I get about maybe 15 likes per post that I do. I fell flat as far as the social media goes.
Okay. So keeping up with it and posting constantly, that's a challenge. And let me ask you a second question. Is the goal to get likes or is the goal to get leads and customers?
Customers, for sure. I did pay Yelp for a couple of months last year to remove all of the ads, and that really bumped up my presence, I guess, online. But other than that, right now we're just kind of rocking and rolling the way that it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm maybe getting the cart before the horse here, but another thing is that we haven't set up anything to retain those customers, right? If you buy a charcuterie board, you're usually just picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, Clint, I'd like to pick something up on Wednesday." But we don't have that mechanism, that CRM and all the things that, it's like, oh, well, hey, Thanksgiving's coming up. Let's ping Mike with an email to see if he wants to, get 10% off, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. From what Emily said and that, we're really kind of a blank slate in that regard.
Awesome. Okay, there's a lot of things we can do. We're not going to do all of it. Today, we're going to focus on kind of one aspect of this, but you're 100% right that you've got a niche, right? This charcuterie board niche. All right. I think about charcuterie boards like once every 2 years when we're having it get together, and there's folks that love your work and they're going to come back to you when they're reminded that you're there. Right. So when you find someone that likes your service and loves what you do, then it's not unethical. It's not bad to remind them that you're still here doing that thing on Thanksgiving or on Christmas or during other parts of the year. So absolutely, we can focus on that on another day, but you should have an email list, okay? You don't have to blast them every week, right? but you should definitely know the folks that are going to be your repeat customers, because for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're going to come back and buy again. But number two, you can talk to them and you can find out what they like, why they came to you, what they were doing it for, right? This is the most valuable research you could possibly do, because they are already your ideal customer, and you have to know exactly who your ideal customer is, so that you can go message correctly to the ideal customers that are out there that haven't heard of you yet. Does that make sense? And now all the AI tools in the world are great, but every business I talk to, I will always say, number one, talk to your customers. Talk to your clients and your customers. Find out what their pain points are. Find out what their struggles are. Find out what they love about your product, your service, your business. Find out how you could do better and deliver more value. Okay. Make them part of your family, and you're going to get a lot more business, at least in the start, probably just through word of mouth recommendations, than anything that you can do with cool AI tools online. Okay. But let's get to those, because that's why we're all here. Yeah. So I started with a little bit of research and I used Perplexity. So let's go check out what I did for you today. I didn't want to do this live on the call because it can take a minute to run some deep research, but I went on Perplexity and I didn't even give it that crazy of a prompt. I want to start where everyone can meet me. So if you're not terribly familiar with ChatGPT, or you're not super familiar with AI, and you're like, oh, I need this amazing, perfect prompt, but I don't know what to do. Okay, just ask ChatGPT to help you make it. All right, which is exactly what I did earlier. So every step that I'm taking, even though there's a more efficient way for me to do this, and even though there's really cool automations, we're going to do it so that anybody who's just starting with AI today could repeat exactly what I'm doing right now with very little issues or troubles. And then you can do that for your business today. Just get started using these tools. So for example, we're trying to create a prompt that we want to use for either ChatGPT or another LLM like Perplexity to do some deep research for us. And the problem is when it does deep research, it takes like 10 minutes and it eats up some credits that you might have. So we want to get that prompt right the first time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to do it for me. And I've already done this earlier in the day, but here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to give it your website. Okay. We're going to give it your website. And then also, I think you messaged me earlier. I'll look it up later. We don't need it. I'll just tell it, right? So let's just go through and let's just tell it who you are. So let's say this. I'm working with Clint and Emily on their charcuterie board business. We'll just do a little voice dictation so you don't have to watch me type and mess up the spelling. Okay. And what do we want? I want you to develop a prompt that's going to serve as a deep research prompt to go crawl through Reddit or YouTube or whatever and find out what people are saying about charcuterie boards, right? I need to find out what the market is saying about charcuterie boards. I want you to develop the best deep research prompt you can possibly come up with on going through Reddit and going through YouTube and going through different social media platforms and websites online to find me information on charcuterie board customers and mostly their pain points, their frustrations, their problems. Okay, how hard was that? All I did was say what I wanted. Okay. And I would run this. And again, I didn't follow like any prompting guides. I didn't use like the role, task, context, output. That's something that we teach in the community. I just told it what I wanted to do in plain language. Okay. And it knows what I'm doing. And so it came up with a great research prompt. Notice that it came up with the objective. It came up with the instructions. And this is all really good. And you could just go through this and see what fits, what makes sense. Maybe something doesn't fit with your business. Maybe it does. You just alter this a little bit if you need to, but that's a really great prompt. You guys agree that's a really great prompt? There's lots of detail in here, right? For each platform, Reddit, YouTube comments, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook groups, search and record real quotes that align with the categories below. Provide platform, link, quote snippets, short notes on quote reveals. What does it want to know about? Key categories, price, value and sensitivity, presentation, guest experiences, functionality. I already ran a similar prompt to this, and this is the version of the prompt that I ran here, and we have a bunch of great results. So let's go check it out. Okay, here's a comprehensive market analysis, synthesizing data from over 100 online sources. I typically prefer for something like this because I want current information today. ChatGPT is an LLM, a large language model that was given searchability online. Perplexity is an online browser search mechanism that was given the power of a large language model. So I think it does a little bit better job in terms of finding things that are new. It also tells you where to go find these sources, which I really love about Perplexity. So for example, you can go to Reddit/charcuterie board. Have you guys ever been on that Reddit platform or Reddit thread before?
I don't remember being on it. No.
Hey, well,
Probably because it wasn't, quite up to the standards, Mike. You never know with those Reddit guys.
That's how, yeah, you can't trust them. But I mean, look how many different Reddit threads that it ran through to go find stuff. It also went on Yelp, Google reviews, Facebook groups, and went through a lot of different things. How long would it take you guys to go and read through all of this information? It would take a long time. Okay. So it goes through, it does all that. It gives you an executive summary. All right. And I'll just go down to the kind of the key findings down here. Okay. Because this is going to be the important part. And what I love is that Perplexity gives me these big, beautiful charts. Everybody loves a big, beautiful chart, right? So if we want to know what the top 10 pain points are, okay, we can take a look at this. This is, business opposition score. This is pain points. Okay, what are the big ones? High price, food safety, excess waste, right? Those are the big pain points. Maybe some others might be diet restriction, decision fatigue, poor variety, no customization, delivering problems, poor presentation, hard setup. I'm not going to tell you which pain points to narrow down on, but you can take a look at this and I'm sure you could find 2 or 3 that you know that you can solve, right? Emily, can you give me one? Give me one pain point that jumps out here that you go, I can solve that pain point.
I mean, the no customization. I love to play to whatever the customer likes. And so I always let them know it's always highly customizable to their liking, for one.
Perfect. That's our first pain point. And you're going to develop messaging specifically to that pain point, right? We provide customized charcuterie boards for your culture, for your business, for your event, whatever it happens to be. All right. You pick 2 more that you can dive in on that you know you're uniquely suited for. And we can start working on your messaging that way, right? Let's move on to the next. I love this chart. This chart's really cool. Okay. It kind of shows you purchase frequency. It's a kind of a chart of purchase frequency versus price sensitivity. So if it's a premium event, they're probably not very sensitive to the price because it's a big event. They already know it's going to be expensive, right? They're throwing a big event. Okay. But you're probably not going to see too many of those. But I would recommend that you price these relatively high. Why? Because they're already going to be expensive. Yes. And I know I talked to Clint earlier and something that he said was that your clients have said you guys are priced too low. Is that right? Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So number 1, for your premium events, raise the price by 20% and offer a 10% discount, right? Today. Okay. You'll be shocked how often you get more sales when the price goes up. All right. The perceived value goes up, what you're offering goes up. And especially if you're hitting the right pain point, it's fully customizable, folks. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, right? And you raise your prices more than you discount it. And now everybody feels like they're getting a great deal, right? So your premium event was $1,000. Now it's $1,200, but you're offering a discount. It's only $1,100. Okay. All right. Just some information that you can take from this. Obviously, you're do it yourself at home. Okay. Maybe that happens a lot, but it's very high price sensitive. Right? You're not going to get that's your low ticket offer, if you will. Right. So you're not going to be able to adjust the price too much on that one. Okay. Love that chart. I think that's a good one. We can learn quite a bit from that. I'll let you take a look at this one because it's a little bit more complicated. I don't want to go through all of that today, but you can just go through this report. I'll send this to you. Okay. And I think you can do for ChatGPT, you get a certain number of deep research options. I forget if you have to pay for Perplexity for the deep research, but Perplexity is what, like $20 a month? Is it worth it to get Perplexity for 1 month for $20 and run as many deep research options as you can on things that pertain to your business? I think so. There are, again, other LLMs, which you might get some for free that you can take a look at. Hidden insights, underserved opportunities, micro influencer content partnerships. Emily, you said one of the things that is difficult for you is keeping up with the posting on Instagram, the posting on social media. How important to your time and your lifestyle would it be if you could partner up with some micro influencers, some folks that are in your area that have 1,000 followers, 3,000 followers, and partner up with them and have them make content for you with the messaging structure that I'm going to give to you today, right? Okay. You don't have to do this on your own. Could you do some AI content? Sure, you could. Could you do it yourself? Yeah. Could you partner up with other micro influencers at a very low cost and have them do it for you? 100%. Yeah. Okay. Micro influencers are huge. What do I mean by micro influencers? I mean someone who's popular in your area and they don't have to have a lot of followers, right? 1,500, couple thousand, right? Why? Because if they're in your area, typically speaking, the trust factor for micro influencers is extremely high. We are not talking about someone that has 1 million followers, right? They kind of know they're being sold to a little bit, right? They know the value of someone who has a community that big. If someone's local and they've got 1,500, 2,000 followers, they trust their advice. They trust the things that they say. They talk about the business that's right down the street from me And I know Frank, and he's a good dude, and he really does have a good business, right? That's a really great opportunity. I'll let you go through the rest of this. What I want to show you is I want to take this report. So we're going to take this whole report and I'm going to put it into ChatGPT. Okay. So let me scroll down here and we're going to go to my ChatGPT, and I have a custom GPT that I have created called the Ideal Customer Persona Generator. So you need to develop an ICP. This is standard marketing stuff. I want you to know exactly who your ideal customer is. So I'm going to click, I want to build an ideal customer profile. And I'm going to drop this link for you to use. You can check it out. It's going to ask you a ton of questions. What's your business? What's your product or service? What's your market or industry? And I'm just going to give it a couple of quick answers. And I'll also drop in the market research so that it knows about you and who you are. And we'll see what it comes up with. The business is a charcuterie board business. And the service is custom charcuterie boards at parties and events. And here is some deep market research that I did on Perplexity. Let's go down here and we're going to copy and paste that in. And then I'm going to go steal your website one more time just so that it knows your website. Scroll to the top here. There we go. Okay. And we're going to let it chew on it for just a second. Just run the report. We're going to skip some of the details. I have built this so that it asks you questions. It's really hard anytime you sit down to think of all the things that you're supposed to know off the top of your head. So I built this to go in and ask you questions if it thinks that it's missing something that it should have. So you should, when you run this, you should absolutely tell it the geographic market you're in. You should give it the brand name. You should tell it if your boards are delivered, picked up, or assembled. All that's really important. We're just going to kind of move through that today so that we can get something that we're after. All right. Here's an ideal customer persona report. Sarah is a corporate event planner, marketing coordinator. She's married. She has 2 kids. She's a polished, organized professional who juggles multiple high-stakes events, both corporate and social. She's responsible for making every occasion look effortless and elegant and on-brand. From executive meetings to corporate parties, she values presentation, reliability, quality. She's willing to pay for services that make her job easier and express stakeholders. She loves the artistry of charcuterie, but doesn't have the time to do it herself. I don't know. Does that sound like somebody that you've done an event for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I hope so, right? And again, if it's not quite right, you can always rerun this. Yes? Okay, lots of incredible information on this, but I'm going to skip down. Again, you can have this custom GPT. You can play around with it. What I want to do is build some messaging. I want to develop a couple different lines of messaging. And in marketing, you got your cold audience, right? They know there's a problem, but they don't know there's a solution. They need to run an event, and that event has to have food. But they don't know that charcuterie is a solution to their problem, right? Then you have your warm audience. They know that there are charcuterie boards out there, but they don't know who to go to. They don't know that you're a solution to their problem. And then there's the hot audience. They know that there are charcuterie board people out there, and they know you're one of them. And we just want to convince them that you're going to deliver that dream transformation at the event. Does that make sense? It's kind of 3 levels of marketing. Okay. So we're just going to tell it, I want to develop 3 levels of messaging for my core messaging, for my cold, my warm, and my hot audience. Just give me one example of each kind of core messaging that we can create. Okay? So we're going to ask for those 3 levels of messaging, and it's going to give us some ideas, right? Cold, warm, hot. This is standard marketing stuff. Everybody knows this. Goal is to capture your attention for the cold audience. I've got to capture your attention and build your curiosity. An example might be not your average snack spread, the pickled mustard seed crafts, artful, food-safe charcuterie boards that transform corporate meetings, weddings, and events into experiences that are worth remembering. That's a little long, honestly. Attention spans these days are super short, but what a great place to start with. Yes, that definitely makes people aware that charcuterie boards might be an answer to their problem. Warm audience, again, these are a little long. I'd shorten them up, but we get it. Catering should never be stressful or risky. That's why every pickled mustard seed board comes with certified food safety handling. So obviously they're picking up on the concerns about food safety, whatever it is. Again, for your pain point, maybe you change this. Maybe you say, hey, I love the warm message number 2, but I'd really like it to focus on the pain point of being customizable. And you can just ask it to change that. Okay. And then your hot audience, you're just trying to get them across the finish line, right? You just show them the dream transformation. Show them what an incredible event looks like with your charcuterie boards. Your next event deserves a flawless finish. Let us create a handcrafted board that wows your guests, so on and so forth. Again, you can play with these, okay? Take these 3, and then let's go maybe develop them across 3 different pain points. Okay, so we're going to say, I love all 3 of those messages, but I want to develop them across 3 different pain points. I want to develop it across a price pain point, a customization pain point, and a food safety pain point. This should give me a total of 9 different messages that I can try. All right, so you guys see what I did here? I want a cold and a warm and a hot message across 3 different pain points that I think would be most useful. And here we go. I've got price point. Okay, so this is where I plugged in the original huge prompt with all the perplexity research. Here it was asking me some follow-on questions, and I basically just said, nah, just do it, right? And then I asked it to do it across 3 different pain points, right? So 3 different pain points. Now I've got a price pain point, cold, warm, and hot, and I've got a food safety pain point, cold, warm, and hot. Okay, got 9 different messages that I've got to handle. I still don't want to do any work if I can avoid it. I would recommend that you go through, obviously, and read them and make sure you're good with them. But let's assume that they're all good, right? I've got 9 different messages. What do I want? I want 3 variations on each message, because for those of you math folks out there, 9 times 3 is 27. And if I get 27 different messages, I have 27 pieces of content. I'm good for an entire month. Everybody tracking on what I'm doing here? Okay, so that's what I'm going to ask for. I'm going to say, I want 3 different messages or variations of messages on each one of these for a total of 27. And I want you to map out randomly those 27 messages across 27 days. The output I want is a nice table that says what day for that piece of content, what the primary message is, and maybe what platform you recommend that I post it on, or what format, i.e. static, dynamic, video, so on and so forth. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. You guys pumped? I'm so excited right now. Look at this. Okay, day 1, you're going to make a price message. It's going to be to your cold audience. Our boards don't just feed people, they impress them. You're not paying for ingredients, you're paying for experiences that your guests will never forget. Throw that on an Instagram reel, voiceover, slow pan of a luxury board. Okay? Worth of content. Yes? Now here's what I recommend that you do, because Emily, you said you don't have a lot of time. You have a few different options. Number 1 is dedicate a day and make all of this in one shot. Okay? So for those that are in the community, RJ, who's in the community, I basically did this for him for his guitar business. And you guys have already seen in the community, he went from 16 subscribers to 120. He went from 2,000 views, I think, on YouTube to over 50,000, right? Why? Because we went and found out why people struggle learning the guitar, and then we started talking to them about it. People show up and they listen, right? So this is what we want to do. You could make all of this content in a single day. Just block off a day. I'm going to go 10 hours today. This is the only thing I'm doing, but guess what? You're done for a month. Or if you post every second or third day, you're done for 2 or 3 months, right? Yeah. Or you hand this off to a micro influencer, right? You hire somebody to do the content, or you partner with an influencer and you show them exactly what messaging you want them to use. You work with them, maybe you go back and forth a little bit. They help modify, they help change things up a little bit. And now you are talking to your ideal client, right? You are marketing directly to their pain points, and the whole stress about forgetting to post, all that is done. Okay. You build all the content, you put it in a scheduler, and you just have it schedule. It just goes out every 2-3 days or every day or whatever you're comfortable with. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic.
Okay. Pretty cool?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. What'd you take away from all that? I know I went fast. I talk fast. I get really excited, but what'd you guys take away from all that?
I mean, just the ability to compress everything, that's going to be huge. It's just really easy. We've got young kiddos, running around, and it's difficult to make the time. I am obviously inept when it comes to social media, and so I'm no good. I'm not helpful. So I think that just being able to compress all of that and have it laid out in a very regimented way, that's... But it's taken us a long time to articulate that on our own. So,
yeah. Go ahead, Emily. I'm sorry.
I like that it gives you ideas of like what to put on the reel or what to put with the content that you have. I have Instagram. That's really the platform that I've used. Yeah. Is there a specific other platform that you would recommend? I know he's smiling over here.
I know what he's going to say.
That's going to be his job as far as it goes.
Oh, that's Clint's job. All right. So the short answer is I don't know for Shark. I think Instagram is probably perfect. I'm just guessing. I don't actually know your ideal client, and I don't know where they hang out, right? At the end of the day, whatever my opinion about it is, doesn't matter. We have to figure out where your ideal clients are. If I had to guess, Instagram is getting your do-it-yourself, folks at home that are throwing a small party. More often, that's the clientele that you're getting there. I would imagine that for your big events, LinkedIn is 100% the way to go. Right?
Okay.
LinkedIn, it's business to business. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn. I would assume that that's where it's at. And here's the nice thing, that all of this content is repurposable. I had to slow down to say that word right. Okay. You can make the same thing and post it in multiple places, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say in the long run, depending on what your goals and aspirations are for the business, you could absolutely make a YouTube channel about how to do it, teach folks how to do. Now, that's going to require some commitment, right? You're going to have
Yeah.
to put a lot more into that aspect of things. Okay. But you can absolutely teach people how to make charcuterie boards. It's your passion project, it's what you love. You could make a school community about charcuterie boarding, right? And I have seen crazier schools that have thousands and thousands of people in them because there's a lot of people that share your passion, Emily, right? And as far
Yeah.
as I know, I mean, we can go look on it. I don't think there's any school communities for charcuterie. I could be wrong. Maybe there are, but I don't know. Maybe you corner that market. Yeah. So that's an opportunity too. But yeah, short answer is I would try LinkedIn for your events. Stay on Instagram. That's fine. I wouldn't go to TikTok right now. That's all really short stuff, trying to go viral. Maybe if you're selling a product or something, that would be okay. But you're doing stuff with real people in real life. TikTok's not about that. And maybe eventually long game would be YouTube. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit like and subscribe so that you can see the next deep dive video. And before you go, a lot of folks want to use AI in their business, but they don't know how. They're completely overwhelmed with the number of tools, how often they're changing, and probably the endless noise that's going on social media. But we do these deep dives all the time with our members in our community. Real tools, real businesses, and real problems. We work through how to apply AI tools that you have access to right now to your life and business. What you didn't see at the end of this video was the follow-on 30 minutes of Q&A that we go through with all of our members. If you're interested in the QA sessions, or you possibly want to go through a deep dive yourself, then just click the link below and come check us out in the community. We'll see you next time.